Hi friends, welcome back. So I know a lot of people have been losing a lot of money on Tesla stock the last couple of days, the last couple of months, and if you bought at the top, you lost about half your money from then. I just want to have a chat with you about social media, Tesla stock, pumpers, all these kind of things, and just get some stuff off my chest. I read your comments every single day, so I always appreciate that. If you've been following this channel in the community, you know how we talk about things. We're pretty realistic about stuff, but we're a very, very, very small corner of the internet. The reality is most of the internet is watching cat videos, it's watching adult content. That's very real. OnlyFans, that kind of stuff. Moreover, if you're in the financial space, the vast majority of this stuff is essentially pumping fantasies, selling you dreams. And it's sad because that's the average person. And this is also the reality. The average person is probably not going to achieve their dreams because they get sucked into this kind of stuff. And also, too, the reality is if you really want to do well in this life, you want to have realistic expectations and you want to know where you are sort of in the cycle. The thing is, like, a lot of people don't want to do the work. And this is just part of YouTube. You turn to YouTube, you rely on someone else to do the work. And essentially, you're putting your livelihood, your retirement, your future into someone else's hands. And moreover, you're more attracted to people who are exciting, more attracted to people who tell you happy things all the time. Like it's just sort of the way that your brain works. You want that dopamine. And I understand if you come to my channel, maybe it's a little bit slower, maybe a little bit different. We're not as much hype, right? So it's not as fun. And so you're just like, oh, I want to go have somewhere and have fun. But the reality is that sometimes having fun all the time isn't necessarily conducive to your future, right? I look at these Tesla stock pumper channels as being like the type of channel is like, hey man, forget about studying at school, forget that, let's go smoke, right? That's the kind of what it is. And then you got these people sitting around the campfire kind of feel, or sitting around the dorm room kind of feel, and just like talking about, dojo computing and humanoid robots in the future, and man, we're all going to be rich and, take another hit, that kind of stuff. And that's essentially what it ends up being. Moreover, this is just real. There's been a lot of corruption on Wall Street for a very long time, and don't expect it to go away anytime soon, but it's in different ways than you think. The funniest thing about it is, like, I was just looking today. Yes, there's still pumpers out there on, they go on TV and they say, oh, Tesla, it's down a little bit, but it's only temporary. Just wait 10 years. We're in it for the long term and these kind of things. The funniest crap is like they always have to come up with some reason to keep you interested in this stuff because they can't tell you the truth. I mean, they can't tell you the truth is that, well, internally we knew this was all a bubble, but we were all making tons of money off management fees. We're making tons of money off pumping this stuff to you. And while we are essentially selling, right, we're convincing all these retail people to keep buying. And then eventually, when the exuberance is over, when the bubble pops, right, there's a lot of the people left holding the bag. So I'm sorry these things have happened to you, but I just wanted to share some things. The other thing, too, which is really interesting on YouTube/social media, is from a sort of regular person's point of view, is right they get sucked into whatever the most popular thing is, and this is just what happens. You Google on what's the top stock, what's the hot stock, etc., and you say, oh, okay, everyone knows who Elon Musk is, everyone knows what Tesla is, right? And you can see, and then every single video is like telling you all these good things about it, and that's the vast majority. So you could blame Google search, you can blame YouTube search, but that's just sort of how these things work. If you were to make content, which I do, which is sort of like a generalist content over all kinds of things, it's harder for Google search engine or YouTube to figure out exactly what my channel is about. The reason why I mentioned that is because someone wrote in a comment, it's like, what's this channel about? And then another one was like, you're just a bunch of short sellers, etc. And I find this stuff really laughable because this is real. If you search a Tesla pumper channel and you Google, whatever, it'll the Google summary, basically the AI, because it's sort of how Google's algorithm work, will know, okay, if someone is searching for information on Tesla, send them to this channel, meaning Tesla pumper channel, because they're going to tell you all the latest Tesla information. The problem with this is that those channels that are merely focused on Tesla and Tesla only, and there's a lot of them out there and they keep popping up all the time, they only tell you the positive stuff. Moreover, which is the really crazy part, but this has to do with the YouTube audience, there's a large segment of the population these days that doesn't believe anything in the news. They don't. And so what they want to go to channels that say, see, look at this news article and look at all of these ways that they're lying to you and look at all of this stuff that is untrue. And so they want to find channels that look at news and basically create this alternative reality from a news article. They'll be like, oh, see, this is where the mainstream media hates Elon. See, this is where the mainstream media is making up numbers. And I laugh because if you guys follow my channel, like literally we just look at the numbers and we try to understand it together. I don't have to like make up crap. And this is something too, which if you guys ever wonder how put out content so quickly, is because I just tell you my honest opinions on these things. I show you guys as many numbers and facts as I possibly can. And I don't have to create this like alternative reality, alternate narrative. For people who are pumpers, it takes them a lot longer to make a video because like they have to spin the facts. I was watching a couple of the live streams of the Tesla pumpers during the earnings report, and it was so funny because they're like looking at this thing, digging through the numbers because the earnings report was bad. Let's be honest, and they were just like speechless because they're like, oh my god, this is what's going on internally. They're like, oh my god, how do I tell my fans? How do I tell my fanboys and fangirls this is good when like everything looks bad? And essentially what they would do is just not say anything and just have a long pause because there's really not much they could say. And then this is sort of why when we talked on the channel for like months leading up to this, like we're making fun of Cybertruck, we're making fun of the people who are stranded in Chicago. And I know it's not fun if you're stranded in Chicago. I mean, I really get it. But the thing is, I want you to understand is not everyone falls for the hype. The craziest thing about, the last week up to earnings, like the Tesla pumper channels, they were still pumping you the $25,000 car. They were pumping you the humanoid robots. They're pumping you all of these things leading up to it. Now, the funniest crap is probably afterwards. If you're like, oh, well, I totally saw the Tesla crash coming. Oh, I totally saw it. They're going to be trying to spin another narrative again, and probably their fans will go along with it. Or they'll say, oh, well, no one could have, predicted this. No one could have predicted that. And whatever they say, it doesn't matter. The fans will go along with it. And the reason why it is this way is because people just want to feel good. That's the reality. People just want to feel good. Moreover, there's been a ton of reports lately. There was one recently. It was I think the last week or so I saw from Harvard. It was the psychology report, and it was saying that a lot of young adults feel very lonely these days, and so then they look to social media / YouTube for essentially, what's the word we're saying, companionship, camaraderie, friendship, these kind of things. And this is something that I want to share with you. I am very thankful for y'all to visit every day and we have conversations, and hopefully you understand I try to talk like a human being. I hope you understand that. The thing is that if I didn't care about you, then I would lie to you every day. I would tell you all that you're going to be the richest person ever, that your boss is going to give you the best promotions, that you don't have to work at all, that you can just do nothing, buy some doggy coin, and you're going to be wealthy, right? Like if I didn't care about you, that's what I would tell you. The thing is though, is that the people who don't care about you, they tell you all these things. They tell you you're going to be rich. They tell you trust Elon for everything. They tell you buy the doggy coins, etc. And they make you feel good, but ultimately it's going to hurt you in the long run. Sometimes you have to accept bad news. Sometimes you have to accept reality if you want to move forward. That's just how it is. Don't let anyone tell you though that no one knew that Tesla was overvalued. Like anyone who's paid attention to stuff, like we all knew it was a bubble. Yes, we did. And I get it. If you lived in Tesla pumperland, you wouldn't have saw this coming, right? Because they've been pumping you like crazy, unrealistic price targets, saying that Tesla's going to have all the market share, everyone's going to move to EVs, and no other car companies exist. And moreover, that Elon Musk is going to live forever and run several companies, have several kids, and he's superhuman. Like this is the kind of stuff that they tell you. It's like so ridiculous. We're going to look back in history, and we're going to laugh at all this stuff. We're going to laugh at like, was there really a CEO that had like multiple kids? I think he has like 10 kids. Was there really a CEO that's like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to sell a bunch of Tesla stock and buy Twitter. And like suddenly all his fanboys and fangirls like, oh yeah, let's get Twitter. Like when we look back in history, like all the sheep that went along with this thing. But the thing is that's funny about it regarding the pumper situation is that people just keep feeding the system, right? This is the new world that we live in. It's not about accuracy. It's not about truth. It's about feeling good. Moreover, the more likes and views that you get, it like snowballs. It's really funny. And again, it doesn't matter how accurate or true you are. It just matters if you make people feel good. And moreover, much of your audience on social media / YouTube, they're the kind of people, and hey guys, I get it. I totally get it. But they're the kind of people who play, Roblox all day, Call of Duty all day, and watch cat videos, right? It's all about feeling good, having fun, hanging out with your friends, hitting that pot, and speculating about humanoid robots. And I get it, it's fun, but ultimately it's not great for your financial success. So I just had to get this stuff off my chest. I'm just sharing with you. It's frustrating because I kind of see how this thing is going to play out. We've talked about this for a long time. Moreover, I just want to share this with you. For those of you who've lost a lot of money, and now you're intently watching these channels even more because you're like, when's my money going to come back? Where's my money? Where's my money, right? This is all I have to say. Learn from your mistakes. Don't fall for the hype all of the time. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And moreover, just because someone's really confident and they have a backwards baseball hat and they play really cool music in the background and they talk about the future all the time, don't think necessarily they have your best interests at heart. For most of these people, they're just entertainers, and that's all it is. So I do appreciate your time. Hopefully that you're okay out there. Hopefully you learn from this experience, and just be a better person next time this happens again, and you'll be able to identify it. And next time when you get older, you'll look at the younger kids and be like, man, how do they fall in for that hype? But this is part of the cycle, and this is part of your learning process of markets and financial stuff. So thanks again for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you next video.